All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to 5 Minutes of Math. And let's go ahead and get started. This is the homework assigned for the evening of Thursday, January 2018, which also happens to be my sister's birthday, but that's beside the point. Let's see. This is number 21, and it says the number of centimeters varies directly. Tells us a couple of things here. It tells us that number one, there's one number that we'll be multiplying each of our x values by to get our x values. The second thing it tells us is that the relationship is definitely proportional. The third thing we know when we see varies directly is that each x value is multiplied by the same constant to get the y value. All right, so the first thing we want to notice is that for 6 inches, we have 15.24 centimeters as our y value. So same strategy, 15.24 divided by 6 equals 2.54. All right, so that's our constant, we think. Let's look at a few more values. We have 9 and 22.86. Let's just take 12 and 30.48. We're going to check this to make sure we get 2.54. So let's go 30.48 divided by 12. And again, we get 2.54. So 15 and 38.1, 15 times 2.54 is 38.1. And yes, it turns out we are using the same constant for the entire chart. Remember to check at least 2 positions. Now, the question asks us, what happens when we get to 50? How many centimeters are there in 50 inches? So what's our strategy? Well, we know our formula, y equals 2.54x. And the answer here is just a matter of plugging things in and figuring out the answer. So 50 times 2.54 is 127. All right, that is our first answer. Now moving on to number 23. If y equals 9 when x equals 16, then what are some sample values for x? If y equals 9 when x equals 16, so let's go ahead and make up our chart. We know that this is direct variation, so we can just divide the y by the x to determine the constant. So again, our y is smaller than our x. Don't let that bother you. All that means is that we're going to get a decimal as our constant. So 9 over 16, 9 divided by 16 equals 0.5625. So y equals 0.5625x, or y equals 9/16 x if you prefer a fraction. So sample values, see where it just said -2, -1, 0, 1, 2? That means that we decide what we plug in as our x value. So sometimes the problem won't give you exactly what you need as far as sample value, so it's up to you to decide. I highly recommend -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. They're small numbers, and it gives you a negative value, the 0 value, and some positive numbers. So here we go. -2 gives you -1.125. -1 gives you -0.5625. 0, of course, gives you 0. 1 times 0.5625 gives you 0.5625. 2 times 0.5625 gives you 1.125. And there's your chart. Here's your sample answers. The green shows you what the problem gave us. And we're pretty much done. All right. So thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you all again in 24 hours.